I said yes, I'd feel no. And if I said no, I'd feel yes. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Arnold, if I said yes, I'd feel no. And if I said no, I'd feel yes. I don't know what to say.
Welcome. You're back. How's everybody doing? Pretty good weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. And just going to be talking about my thoughts on the market going into the week, my thoughts on Bitcoin, Fisker, Clover, CCIV, all the other trades, some potential new trades, how I'm planning on, going forward with all the volatility in the market, and just covering as much as I can. So make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to send me a tip or buy some merch. That's the pinned comment in the chat. Right now we're looking at futures, and they're doing very well. They're up pretty much 1% on the S&P futures right now, which is very, very strong. Hopefully this holds overnight. Of course, you still have like 12 and a half hours until the market opens, so anything can change until then. But yeah, you had the news with everything on stimulus this weekend still needs to get passed by the Senate, I believe. Some revisions, whatever it's going to be, and we'll see how that affects things in the coming weeks. But yeah, so far tomorrow for the market is finally looking good. This is the best I've seen futures in probably 2 weeks, or maybe even more. And hopefully it holds. Remember, we were looking at like this flag on the S&P 500, and I was saying like you really need to get some sort of confirmation if you're breaking out of this to the downside, because even over here it closed under, but it came right back inside of the flag. So you need like multiple days of confirmation under the flag to really like confirm some sort of breakdown. But for right now, it's fighting to bounce towards the bottom of the flag on the S&P futures, and hopefully that can allow the actual S&P to maybe also get back above inside of the channel that we've been using to very accurately predict the movements in the market. So we'll see how that continues overnight. Another thing I want to cover right off the beginning, let me switch over to the other screen. Another thing I want to cover is Bitcoin. I just put out a trade on Bitcoin in the Discord on my Twitter, so make sure to check out my Twitter and Discord. The link's in the description. But yeah, Bitcoin's looking pretty decent. There's triple classic bullish divergence on Bitcoin. From this island to the next one to the next one, you made higher lows while the price is making lower lows. And even on your RSI, you had some classic bullish divergence from this low to this low, even from the last two lows you do. So you're showing a lot of seller exhaustion. You're in a falling wedge, which is like these two yellow lines on Bitcoin. And if you anchor it using the candle wicks, which it could be debated, but regardless, if you are using the candle wicks, you kind of have a bullish butterfly harmonic pattern. If you remember the butterfly, it's literally on my wall. It's on a poster. It's the Fisker butterfly that I posted at $9. So, I mean, this is a 4-hour butterfly. It's not as big as the Fisker one. It's just the same pattern in a very different place, right? It's not at the bottom of range. It's pretty much around the all-time highs of Bitcoin, comparing it like over time. So it's not like a usual butterfly. It's just kind of there. Maybe it can help. We'll see what happens. Let me just slow down my overlay. It's kind of being laggy. So yeah, that's Bitcoin looking pretty decent. I put out a trade. Never really, there's no super precise entry on this trade. It's just kind of like the entry was around when I posted it, and the idea was to be cost averaging, like pretty much, put in an entry position, the divergence plays out and it starts going up immediately. You can make a little bit of money there, which is currently that's what's happening. It's already going up. But the PCZ of the butterfly on Bitcoin and the demand line of everything and the previous all-time high of 42K is all lining up in this green box area. So that's the idea of like averaging into it. It's more of like an advanced trade. We're more experienced traders who are very patient, know how to cost average correctly, good position sizing, risk management. It's not just like literally buy the second I post it and wait for a target. It's more complex than the usual trades I put out, just because of how it's trying to confirm a bottom. But we'll see how that continues to develop. Yeah, that's Bitcoin, that's futures. My thoughts on the market in general. You're really going to have a couple good days, a couple of nice strong days to get back in the channel and hold in the channel on the S&P 500. Remember, because you already technically broke out to the downside. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to get cocky. The last 2 weeks were definitely a message to a lot of people who were, heavily over positioned into the market with very little risk management. People on margin and big calls, stuff like that. That was a big wake up call to a lot of people, myself included, honestly. So I don't want to get too cocky. You're not out of the clear on the market just because futures are 1%, but it's a good start. It's a good start. We'll see how the market does tomorrow, and yeah, just hopefully you can confirm some support over here, maybe pivot a bit, and we'll just take it day by day. I'm not here to predict crazy things. I'm just here to analyze the price, how the price is moving, and try and find some probability with all of that. So that's my thoughts on Bitcoin and the market. Let's talk about Fisker next. I mean, let's go. Let's go on Fisker. You guys know how much I love Fisker. I have the cap right here. I'm not wearing it right now, but literally, let's go. Let me do something. Type a 1 in the chat, just drop the number 1 in the chat if you were in on either of the major Fisker trades I put out. The first trade being the entry at $9 down here, which is a poster on my wall. You can also buy if you want to. And then the second trade from just 3 weeks ago, the white coffee accumulation range, where the entry was $15. Drop a 1 in the chat if you got into any of those entries. And, either you're currently in profit that's realized or maybe even unrealized. But the technicals worked out great. You got the catalyst, you got the price targets, you got the Foxconn announcement last week. Look at all those ones in the chat. Jonathan, Braden, Amet, Nick, Adam, Rooster, E4 Spikes, Tyler, AJ, Joshua, ACAT, Matthew, Bukin. Pretty interesting name. Yeah. E-Force again, I think. So a lot of people in here. Hopefully that helped. And don't just thank me, thank yourself for believing in the company and doing the work that you did, because I can only give you my opinions. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to pull the trigger and take a position whether you want to or not. So congratulations. This is something I've been dreaming about for 3-4 months, and finally last week it all came into fruition. So super happy about that. It pretty much almost hit $30. Went to the 2618 Fibonacci extension. If you're anchoring from this swing high to this swing low, pretty much went to the 2618 and then pulled back a little bit on Friday. In terms of this week, we'll see what happens. Looking at Twitter, there's a lot of different bears coming out of the woods. That's a nice analogy to use. A lot of bears coming out of the woods now that they see Fisker going crazy. I just think it's kind of funny that they could have said all of these things back when Fisker was down here, but they're only saying it now that Fisker's up here. pretty interesting. I'm not saying that FSR is going to go up in a straight line forever. That's impossible. There's going to be a decent dip / pullback at some point. I have no clue when it's going to be, but at some point people are just going to take profits. It's very natural supply and demand when something has a nice run to get a reaction pullback with a lot of people taking profits. Because anybody who would have ever bought FSR pretty much would be in profit unless you literally bought it at $29. You definitely would have not been buying at $29 if you have been watching this channel since I've been talking about it from $9. But yeah, that's FSR. In terms of, you don't really have a major support. You just can't create a major support when you get such a big move like that. Your next like actual support is 23.61. I don't know if it's going to go to 23.61, but that's just your next major support on the chart. And then your resistance would just be like $30, a psychological resistance. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. And yeah, there's not too much else to talk about FSR besides from that. It happened. You know what I'm saying? We were waiting, we were anticipating, we were hoping for months and months, and it happened last week. Even on Thursday, I mean, even on Friday, had a 32% day. So yeah, the composite man was accumulating his position for a month, and then the catalyst came, and then legends were made. So congratulations to everybody in on it. Make sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and if you want to send me a tip or get some merch, it'll pop up on the screen. That's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. Actually, like, restyled the tip page and the merch page just to make it more, how do I put it, organized, because the last one was very like all over the place. So I kind of just really simplified the tip page, where like the second you click on it, it just takes you right to the screen where you can either select merch or just send a tip. But yeah, it's the pinned comment in the chat. That's FSR. Congratulations. Awesome stuff right there. Pretty much a 3x since the bullish butterfly. So, I mean, not pretty much. It is over a 3x since the bullish butterfly entry. And pretty much doubled your money since the last trade I put out 3 weeks ago. So, let's go FSR. Shout out Henry FSR. And yeah. Let's talk about CLOV next. Tomorrow they have earnings, and then on Tuesday they have a what's it called? Like a tech conference for their CLOV Assistant, like the digital platform they have for physicians to use at offices. After hours on Friday, CLOV went up 7%. It pretty much closed at $10 after hours, but when the market closed, it was at $9.40, so nice 7% move after hours. It would have been a combination of things. Maybe people were just trying to get in right before earnings, maybe shorts covering, whatever it was. I think I think CLOV really comes down to earnings tomorrow and the tech conference. So tomorrow and Tuesday are huge days for CLOV. I'm not really concerned with revenues because they're still so new, and they've been very straightforward since the start that that they're expecting to be profitable, I believe, by 2023. So I'm not looking for that. Revenue obviously is important. I want to see some growth there, but the main thing I'm looking at with the CLOV earnings, hopefully they reveal it. I don't know if they have to reveal it, but hopefully they just do. The user growth, the amount of people that are signed up on CLOV, the amount of offices that are providing CLOV insurance, and the amount of offices using. I don't know if the CLOV Assistant's even out yet. I don't really know exactly. I've looked into it quite a bit, but it's kind of weird how it's been worded. So we'll see, tomorrow and the day after. The chart, there's not too much to talk about here. Things can start lining up, but you need the demand to come in first. You can show divergence on the daily. You're already developing divergence on the 4 hour. Well, you can be developing it again. Assuming it opens at $10 tomorrow morning, you will be developing the divergence again. So technicals can line up. They're already lined up potentially to give you divergence. You're at the bottom of this demand line. Or you're touching the demand line, but you need a good reaction in the earnings, and the tech conference matter much more for CLOV. So I'm still in CLOV. We're going to see what happens tomorrow, but nothing's ever certain. It just fell from 17 to 9. I know they had the Hindenburg report, but very, very sharp move very quickly. We'll see what happens. Right, Jay just said it. Fingers crossed, absolutely. And then UWMC, I put out another trade on it on Friday. Shout out Guy and Hat for finding the PCZ of this bullish crab, the 1618 from X to D, and you double bottomed at the PCZ. It's not like an actual like textbook double bottom, but you do have two lows at around 730 or so. And then you have quadruple classic bullish divergence from this island to this one to this one to this one. So a lot of classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour as well, and then like some local divergence on the daily. So this is a new trade, UWMC. It's really only technicals. I don't think there's any catalysts. I mean, obviously there can be a surprise catalyst, but I don't know if there's anything really announced for the short term in terms of like a conference or whatever. Just a very technical play. You even had a bullish pin bar handle. So that's UWMC, that's Clover, that's Fisker. We could just keep running down the list. Palantir. Hidden bullish divergence is developing. You had a daily bullish pin bar on Friday, and you're just right over the support of 23. As long as you're above 23 on Palantir, there's not too much to talk about. Really, 23 is your level to hold. As long as you're above it, you're good. And you're pretty much $1 above that right now on Palantir. Hopefully you can put in a reversal, but remember, nothing's certain. HYLN, this trade technically got stopped out. It depends. If you had an order, you probably would have been stopped out. But really, when it comes to stop losses, I go by where the candle closes. So the candle did not close at the stop level. HYLN's hanging on by a thread in terms of the chart. Let me skip this song. Let me try and fix the overlay again. There. Yeah, HYLN's really hanging on by a thread. You don't want to continue closing under this support. You want to get back over the support tomorrow if the market's green, hopefully, and stay above $15.26. Otherwise, you don't have support at all. So this is like literally right now is a make or break area for HYLN in the short term based on technicals. Of course, there could be a catalyst. UWMC just announced it's joining the Russell 1000. Never mind, Steve. Thank you for correcting me. So there is something going for it in terms of a catalyst. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, I think UWMC was also up like 2 or 3% after hours alongside Clover. So we'll see what happens there. And yeah, that's HYLN just at the support. Rocket, the target already got hit last week for 21%. They crushed earnings. They hit the target of $24 pre-market. BlackBerry, I posted it right before the hype on all the Wall Street bet stocks came back last week. I posted like 2 hours before they really started moving. And, during that day, it was up like 17%, but then all the Wall Street bet stocks just pulled back like crazy. And now the trade's, back at a loss for 3%. So huge fall there. But you still are developing divergence on the daily. However, I don't think you're developing it on the 4 hour. You went back to red. XL is back at the entry. Just a lot of the trades were up very, very nicely. But then when the market pulled back, they just also pulled back. XL was up 11% at one point when I put out the trade. Now it's literally went right back down to the entry. You really want to hold over 14.17. You want a good day tomorrow for XL. This is your support. You're sitting right at the support. That's exactly where you closed on Friday. SDC is also right around support. At one point, I think this trade was up like 14%. It was up 14% at one point. Then it just pulled back with the market. It's unfortunate, but that's just what happens. That's why I always need to be paying attention to the macro. So you just don't want to fall under this demand line right here. It's showing a very clear level of demand. You don't want to fall under the yellow line. As long as you're above it, you're good. Really, as long as you're above $11, you're fine. DD. This one, it really, just a lot of these trades were starting to go. They were playing out perfectly. The technicals were working. It's just the macro messed it up. This one was up 5%. Now it's only up 3%. Only a 2% pullback, really. But, you don't want to be under 71.41 because it's your high from December 18th. You want to get back above 71.50, I guess. So look for that this week. Boeing, another one that just sold off. It was up 10% at one point. It's only up 1% now. It sucks. One thing I also would say on Boeing is you're showing some 4 hour bearish divergence. So I'm not too sure. You are showing some bearish divergence where the price was going up, but the MACD made a lower high. Keep that in mind. And then QSR, same exact thing as all the other trades, was up very nicely. It was up 6%. Now it's only up 1%. Same thing. And then again here, you are showing some bearish divergence as well. So please keep that in mind. Some bearish divergence on the MACD. And I think that covers all the trades. The futures are currently at a session high, which is good. Bitcoin is also almost at a session high, which is good. New trade on Bitcoin. In terms of some trades I'm looking at potentially going into the week is KNDI. This one, I really wanted to start showing some divergence on the daily before I put it out. but at some point it can create divergence on the daily. It shows KNDI is at the 200-day moving average and is also at the support of $8.80. It's right over it from this low right here, and I think that low right there might be something else. Yeah, even these lows right here, very big support at 680 on KNDI. I'm looking at this going into the week. It's on the watch list. Just need some more confirmation with divergence. I want to see the MACD start waning. And earnings are in like 2 weeks, so got to keep that in mind. So that's KNDI. The other one is FEYE. This one, let me go on the 4 hour. It's showing classic bullish divergence. On the 4 hour, it's almost confirmed. Very nice classic bullish divergence. It's at a horizontal support and it's at the demand line of a channel. I already have the trade lined up. All I need to do is hit the publish button right there. It's just lined up. I just haven't put it out yet. I wasn't going to put out trades until the market opened tomorrow, just because of how volatile things have been. Futures are up, so I don't know. Maybe I will put it out. Just, you know, I want to see what happens in the first few hours of the week tomorrow. That's another one I'm looking at. And the other one I'm looking at on my watch list is Apple. I mean, Apple just fell from $145 to $121. It's sitting at a support, which is 121. It's your high from right over here and right over here. And you're nearing like a demand line as well on Apple. No divergence, but you're just at supports right now on Apple. And I was looking at the short interest ratio. I guess I could just pull it up real quick for Apple. I already tweeted this out. Let me just pull it up real quick. I don't know, my Wi-Fi's not loading. Or the website's not loading. Give me a second here. Come on. The website's not loading, but what I was basically going to show you is that the short volume or the short interest ratio, what I was looking at before, it was like pretty much a super low level. And the last 2 times that the short interest was this low on Apple, it had major runs after. And I believe the 2 times it was this low was like April of 2020, which was right over here. It was right over here when the short interest was super low and it just went completely crazy after. And the other time, I think it was right around here. No, it was in July of 2020. So it was like right there, right over here. So the last 2 times the short ratio is this low on Apple. It had a big move after. So there's a few things lining up for Apple. I think if the market's green this week, so Apple is pretty much in most of the indexes that regard tech, or all of them, I guess. But yeah, it's just out of support. I think it can pivot as long as the market stays green. But remember, I don't think it's time to get cocky with the market. Just because futures are up 1% on a Sunday night, anything can happen. Bitcoin just had a nice move. I put out the trade on Bitcoin 2 or 3 hours ago. So if you're in the Discord, you saw it. Bitcoin is currently at session highs. It's at 46.8K right now. So that's what happened. I even alerted when the divergence confirmed in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, the link's in the description. Please join it. This is already up like 4% since I posted it to the Discord. So that's just a little Sunday night trade to start the week off. Starting very nicely, even though it did not come down to the support levels that I was thinking it could. It still can. I mean, you haven't even broken out yet. You could just come up to the top of this line, then pivot back to the bottom. So again, not trying to get cocky on Bitcoin on futures, but very nice starts on both of them. And that pretty much covers everything. How long was that intro? Pretty much like a 20-minute intro. I feel like that was pretty good. Covered all the trades, covered some trades I'm looking at going into the week, covered Bitcoin, the market, and yeah, hopefully that helped out. Going into the week, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 40 likes real quick. We're currently sitting at 28 likes, but we have 61 people in here. Gonna need some more likes real quick. Make sure to subscribe. Let me see how many subscribers we're at. We are currently at 2248, so hopefully we can hit 2300 this week. And yeah, I updated the tip page. If you want to send me a tip, for people who haven't seen it yet, I guess I can just pull it up real quick, just to show you what it looks like. Let's see if I can do this. So this is what the tip page looks like. I updated the layout. Why is it showing the chat right here? Since when does it do that? I have no clue. But yeah, if you want to see the merch, it's right over there on the left, on the right, and even, no, I don't even know my directions right now, great. And then if you want to send a tip, literally it's just a 3-box layout, username, dollar amount, donation message, anything that you put in here will pop up on the screen. Hopefully, I think it's working. And thank you to whoever bought the SPAC butterfly poster this weekend. Somebody bought that poster, and the name was "Your Biggest Fan, I Love You." So thank you to my biggest fan for buying that poster. And yeah, the link for this is in the pinned comment and the first link in the description. Let me go back to the other screen. What's a new stock that you think will do as good as Fisker? Wow, Bitcoin, let's go. Nice stuff, Bitcoin. I don't know. Fisker is like my special one. Really hard to say. If I don't like any stock more than I like Fisker. But of course, Fisker already just did make a big move. I don't really see anything as bullish as Fisker at $15 right now. If I did, I'd share it. I just really don't. This was just so bullish. This accumulation range, it was awesome. UWMC, just looking chat. Yeah, Apple fell like $3 in the last 15 minutes on Friday. GT says, I have a tighter descending triangle on my chart and it's breaking on the 4-hour. Different resistance line, but interesting to see yours. Yeah, I really I chart my patterns very conservatively because I really want to know something's breaking out if it's going over a supply line. So I just use the candle wicks. Let me just take off this pattern real quick. I just used this first candle wick right here for mine, and then the second one. You probably could have, I mean, there's different ways you can chart. If you go like this, you probably have it like this, right? Where you use like the candle body high, then you would be breaking out right now. So regardless, just a very nice price action. Honestly, you could get a 3 white soldiers candle pattern as well if you confirm this hold in an hour. If you confirm this price in an hour and 30 minutes on the 4-hour. But yeah, there's always different ways to look at patterns and stuff. Why is this? All right. So yeah, Bitcoin's doing very nice things right now. Futures still, I like how futures, they went up and they're just staying there. I like that. Oh, CCIV, definitely. I need to talk about. Did I skip that? What? Thank you for reminding me. Do you see a Fisker pullback soon because of the large run up? At some point, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or this week, but I do think there's going to be a decent pullback at some point on Fisker, yes. Just supply and demand. When you pretty much double in price in a few weeks, it's normal to see a pullback. But at the same time, who knows? Maybe it goes crazy. It's been a very wild stock market. You saw what NIO did. You saw what Tesla did last year. There's a lot of different things. CCIV, there's currently a trade out on CCIV. It's the second trade I posted. The first one was a failed trade. And then this one, which is the second one, is already up 12%. I posted this, I think, on maybe Thursday or Wednesday last week. Trade's up 12%. At one point, it was up 18%. I did take profits on CCIV just because I had calls that were pretty short term. But I'm definitely looking to reassess it tomorrow. Really, it was just like a 1-hour play where you were showing just the price was going down, but the MACD was going up, which I liked. And then you were pretty much at like the only support I really see on the chart, which was the high from January 25th and like kind of the lowest right over here. So you were at a support, and that support that I showed worked out perfectly. That's exactly where it reversed. This is why you want to learn technicals, because for somebody who didn't know technicals, they would have literally had to have guessed where the price could be reversing, right? I did not say anything about CCIV when it was falling all the way from $65 all the way down to 31. That's when I put out the first trade, because it was at the first support, but then it broke that. And then if you know your technicals, you just go right to the next support. Then CCIV fell right down to the next support, and that's where it had a very nice bounce. Even if this trade does not hit the target of $35, it was already up 18% at one point, so the job was already done regardless of what happens from here on out. Anything over 10% and I'm happy on pretty much all the trades. So yeah, that CCIV, we'll see what happens going into this week. I hope that it can hold this attempted rally, but we shall see. Bitcoin is still going up. Futures pretty much the same. We looked at red, white, bloom, the OTC last week. I think we looked at it on like Friday when I did like the stream at the end of the day. And I have no clue about that one. It's not really how I chart, you know, things that are that volatile. Like pretty much any OTC stock, I really can't give you an answer because I just chart very consistent trends for the most part. I don't really chart things that are, you know, pumping, dumping, you know, every so often. So, you know, that's just not how I trade. Apologies. NGA. This trade failed. Yeah, but it failed, but look how much the stop would have helped you, right? After the stop loss, look at this. This is why you manage your risk. This is why you have stop losses. After the stop got hit for a 6% loss on the NGA trade, it literally fell 18 more %. So that's why I always manage your risk. It broke the support and then it kept on falling. At this point on NGA, I really don't know. You're still developing divergence, which I like. Let me go on the daily. Even on the 4-hour and the daily, you're showing some hidden bullish divergence, which I like. Nice candle on Friday. Pretty nice candle. It's just you really don't have a support here, so it's a little bit harder to manage your risk, even though the technicals look fine right here. So yeah, we looked at Apple. I like Apple. It's just out of support and demand line. Hopefully it can have a nice day if the market does tomorrow. But I just think Apple had a very quick sell-off and it's at support finally. I don't know why it's my mouth. I do that a lot when I'm just sitting on my desk. I just put the hoodie string in my mouth. But yeah, check out the FTM hoodie. The hoodie string is great to place in your mouth. Tastes great. Nice to chew on. So yeah, merch. If you want any merch, that's the pinned comment in the chat. FUBO, sure. I mean, it's nice. It's out of value area. I think they have earnings. Yeah, FUBO has earnings on Tuesday, I believe. You're showing some sort of local divergence. It's not actual divergence. It's just this one island right here. I just think, you know, your support's probably like $33. It was your low on this candle, kind of your high almost there. Just kind of your support in the local areas right now. As long as you're over 33 on FUBO, you're good. That's it. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about the S&P 500. Look where it actually bounced off of. The golden retrace, the 0.618 fib. Learn your Fibonacci, everybody. Oh, what? An OCD hoodie string. My socks are chewable. Chewable hoodie strings. Interesting market idea. Trying to make sure I just covered everything I wanted to. Yeah. All right, let's get it. Let's get it going. Let's look at some takers. Drop some takers in the chat. If you request me something that's up 55% or something that I IPO'd last week, I'm probably going to skip the chart. Don't take it personally. I just need a very consistent chart to analyze if you want me to give you an answer. So yeah, remember on all the streams, I try an intro for like half an hour. And then when I'm done with the intro, I'll directly say I'm going to be doing the ticker requests. So if you want me to take a look at something, drop in the chat. I'm not going to get to every single ticker. It's just impossible. But I'll try my best on both. We already looked at Clover earlier in the stream. It'll be in the timestamps after the stream is done. For fibs, I use the Fibonacci retracement tool on TradingView, which is right here. It says fib retracement. All right, let's get these tickers going. Let's get a 50 likes. We need 6 more likes. Can't stop thinking about Fisker. I'm so happy. Sundial. Thank you, Mike, for putting in the timestamp. Mike is awesome. Huge shout out to Mike. Appreciate the like, TV repairman. Fisker CEO is cool. Henrik is awesome. I agree with you. TLRY, yeah, TLRY showing hidden bullish divergence. We've gone over it. On the daily, it's not really showing any divergence yet. Remember, you need the MACD to start winning before you can consider it divergence. So some 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. Really, on TLRY, your support is 2254. As long as you're above 2254, you're good. You just want to stay above 2254. AR just looks like it fell with the market last week. I don't like how it fell into the 200-day moving average. Let me just delete everything on the chart. You're still at a support area. I would say this is like your support zone. This is where I think you could see a reversal, but who knows, if the market's up like crazy tomorrow, then they could just easily reverse with the market. Earnings on the 4th. I think Kroger will come down to earnings, if that's when their earnings actually are. AG, this is really can't do anything here. It's just no pattern, no divergence, no clue on this chart. I'm sorry. PRCH, kind of the same thing. Just I don't like how you're under 1920, which was your swing high over here. Unless you're over 1920, I think it's actually a little bit bearish. But earnings are on the 3rd, so that can send things either way if that's the actual date for earnings. Trading view is a little bit off sometimes. That's why I keep saying that. JMIA, we were looking at it, I think on Friday actually. It's showing some 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. It's at a support. This, like, the lower 40s is where I think you can see a reversal. If you don't and you fall under 40, that's when I would take caution. But also you want to break back above 48. That's your resistance from the highs in April of 2019 and the highs just recently in December. So you're kind of in a range between 40 and 50. I think it's just a very neutral range. If you're under 40, take caution. If you break over 48, bullish. Sundial, hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. No divergence yet on the daily. Look at this bullish pin bar. This is exactly what you can see after bullish pin bar. That's a reversal candle. It's usually better when you have a green one, but it's still a bullish pin bar. And then you got a nice move. You went all the way from, so you closed this candle at 126, and then you went all the way up to 164 after the pin bar. Very nice move right there, but now you're pulling back again. I think 125 is your support from like this high over here. I think as long as you're over 125, you're good. CPSH, you have some hidden bullish divergence developing. I think it's only on the MACD. Well, kind of on your RSI as well. Nothing on the daily. Really no pattern here at all. Really all I can give you right here is some divergence. Looks like earnings might have already happened. I'm not too sure. Yeah, can't really give you an answer here. Just, I don't see any pattern at all. SE. Oh, look at this. It was really accumulating very, very nicely. And it's continuing to. This has just been on a crazy uptrend ever since the COVID crash. It's pretty much all it's done is make higher highs and higher lows. But then it pulled back with the market in the last couple of weeks. I think you want to get back above 240. That was your swing high from over here. And then I think your next support is 209. So let me just redo that. Resistance 240, support like 209-ish. And if you fall under 209, then take caution. SNES. I don't remember when I lined that up, but let me just delete the chart. Your resistance is 220 and your support's 138. You're right in the middle of a range. You're right at the 200-day moving average. 50-50, like that's as 50-50 as it gets. No edge for either direction. In terms of technicals, NSPR. Support 50 cents. Resistance $1.34. You're also right in the middle of a range, 50-50. VRAY. Earnings on the 4th. Huge earnings week this week. I think it'll just come down to earnings. I could tell you about the chart, but I don't really know if it matters too much. I think you're out of support right now. You're showing that you're at this pretty much the same low over here. You're actually a little bit under it. It's at a make or break area, but earnings will also flip it to either direction. Thank you for throwing in the timestamps. Appreciate it, Mike. LNND, did you mean INND? I think it was that one. Again, if you're requesting an OTC stock, chances are I'm not going to be able to give you like that much of an answer. It's just not how I trade. Is that an actual stock or are you trolling? Funny. Any amount I can tip you to get you to explain how you use fibs. I see you and another guy with crypto who pinpoint these breakout and raises me. You don't have to tip me for that. If you just go to my channel, you just click on my channel name, Champion Vibe, then you go to playlists on my channel, and then you're gonna see it says free trading course. Click on the free trading course, and there's a full video on Fibonacci in that trading course, so you can just check it out there for free. Appreciate you for offering though. We already looked at Palantir, AMBL. That doesn't show up on my ABML. Okay. BNT. Are you talking about the crypto BNT? I think you are. I'm just gonna assume that you are. IBA. We already went over BlackBerry earlier in the stream. It'll be in the timestamps. So CGIX. I can't give you an answer. It's just way too volatile. It's just not how I trade. I'm sorry. Oracle. This one's interesting. It's a potential double top, but you could easily just pivot and break over 66. I'm just gonna give you support resistance right here. Your resistance is $66.20. Your support is $62, and you're pretty much kind of in the middle. Not too sure. CBAT. Your support's like $5. You're at $6 right now. A lot of people were really bullish on CBAT on Twitter. I just think the market pulled CBAT with it. There actually has been a trade on CBAT. This move right here was a trade that I put out. I put out the entry at like $4.91. The target was like $7. It was like a 42% trade in like 2 days. At this point though, what just happened to my audio? I don't know. Hopefully that didn't glitch out for everybody else, but that was weird. Yeah, I think it's tradable, but you'd have to be very you have to be very smart about your entry, because it could easily come down to $5 before it goes higher. But at the same time, it just did fall from $10 to $6, so 50-50 for the short term. But I do think long term that looks good, but there is more there's more risk to $5. INND, yeah, I really can't give you an answer here. You're showing some sort of hidden bullish divergence on both the MACD and the RSI. So you have hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour, but very, very pump and dump. SUNW, you're also showing hidden bullish divergence. Let me fix that real quick. Daily, yeah, even on the daily you're showing divergence like that. And you're kind of out of support. Yeah, SUNW looks pretty interesting. I mean, it's very, very volatile move, but I think it's you could probably manage your risk here, and pull out a trade. Resistance like 1647. You definitely trade at something like this. Entry like right here. Target 1640-ish or right under that resistance, and then stop loss. Let me go on the 4-hour. There's a gap fill right here. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I'm not too. The stop loss I think would really just come down to like how much you're willing to risk on the trade. I don't really see like an actual tactical stop loss based on technicals. AVLR. Your support is 141.71. Next resistance is 173. You're right in the middle of a support and a resistance. You have some hidden bullish divergence developing though on the 4-hour. Nothing on the daily though. Really the only edge you have is divergence. Oh, we already looked at XL, it'll be in the timestamps. ABML, I have no clue on this chart, just no pattern. A little bit of divergence, but it needs to develop much more. BNTUSD, let me go on the 4-hour. Looks pretty decent. I think it'll just come down to Bitcoin. It'll just depend on what Bitcoin does, like most altcoins, but you're showing classic bullish divergence and maybe like a falling wedge. Yeah, this is pretty, might be breaking out right now, just like Bitcoin. Nice. I mean, is it like an actual value area? No, there was much better times to be buying PNT, but that's a pretty textbook falling wedge with divergence. At worst case scenario, you just manage your risk. Like this is literally a potential trade. I'm not even joking. Stop loss would just be under these lows right here. So something like that. And then target. Typically on a falling wedge, the textbook way to target is a 50% retrace. And that would just not give you a 3 reward to risk. It would give you like a 1 reward to risk. So you'd have to shoot for a higher target just for it to be like a good reward to risk. I think your resistance like right here. How much would you get there? 2 reward to risk. So yeah, so you could 100% go for a higher reward to risk. You could just go for the top of the wedge, but it's not a textbook way of playing it, even though crypto right now is very crazy. Technicals look pretty good, but the risk management is a little bit tough here. Unless you tighten your stop, you could do this as well. Actually, yeah, this would be how I would play it. I'd tighten my stop because that would mean that you're not actually breaking out of the wedge. I tighten my stop to like 460-ish, right under this candle low, so probably like 459 or something. And then my target would just be the same, and then you'd get a 3 reward to risk. That would be how I would target it. Because you do have a support at 475, which you definitely want to hold above. It's these 2 candle lows, these candle body lows, 3 reward to risk. This is like literally a potential trade for cryptos. Honestly, I'm probably going to publish this right now. Who requested this? Matt Wong. Good job. Good job. But this, at the same time, it really depends on Bitcoin actually pivoting right here. $20 donation from Kobe. Let's go. Let me fix my audio real quick. It usually glitches out the first time somebody tips every night. Hopefully my mic doesn't glitch out too now. Kobe with the 20. Here's some anyway. I'll check it out. Appreciate that, Kobe. Thank you very much. Yeah, I believe you're the one that asked about the Fibonacci. Thank you. Really appreciate the $20, and thank you for being so kind. Mike, the timestamper, the homie, says, gotta depart early today, guys, at a family dinner, but timestamp should be up for the first hour. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. Thank you very much, Mike. Everybody always make sure to thank Mike whenever you see him in the chat for providing all the timestamps, because it's not for me, it's for all of you. So he's the one that does the timestamps. Cheddar saying thanks, Mike. Awesome. Got a great community here. It's awesome. Cheddar Freeze, you need to be modded. How are you not modded? I'm modding you right now, Cheddar. There you go. Alright, I swore that you were modded on the channel. My bad. You're modded now, though. Or you should be. Yeah, you are. Hopefully it'll show up on your end if you refresh or something. BNT. I'm gonna keep this on my watch list. But the thing is, I should probably post it right now. I'm just gonna post this trade. So let me just post this real quick for the Discord and stuff. Sorry, I usually don't do this on stream, but like right now it's like trying to break out. All right, BNT trade. Good job, Matt. I think it was Matt Wong, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. Yeah, good job, Matt Wong, for this one. I'm gonna share with the Discord. I'll put it on Twitter, I guess, after the stream. I'm sorry, just give me a second to drop this in Discord. Rooster, sometimes you just say things sometimes. I know you're like a day one, but okay then. Let me just drop this BNT in the Discord. I'm sorry for like the delay. It's trying to break out right now, so if you're in the Discord, you just got an alert. All right, there we go. Then we have IBA. Let me move this to the top of my watch just real quick. Why am my computer's like lagging right now? Not too sure why. On IBA, this is just way too gappy. The volume is way too low. It just, look, if I'm gonna chart this like anything else, you're out of support right now. This is a make or break area. You're out of previous resistance. Really, as long as you're over 38.70, you're good. So you want to hold above 38.70, and then your next resistance would be like $45. It's definitely tradable. You have some divergence. It's just the volume is super low, so volatile. We already looked at UWMC and Clover. It'll be in the timestamps. I think Mike might have already sent it to me. I'm not too sure. Let me check. No, he hasn't sent them yet. But yeah, they were gone over earlier. Let's keep it going. So we stopped with IBA. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream and all the analysis. If you are, there's a couple ways you could support me for all the free trades, the streams every night. You could drop a like on the stream. That you click a button and it helps to grow my channel. You could also click another button called the subscribe button. That also helps to grow my channel. Like 40% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're viewing the stream and you like it, only if you like it, consider hitting the red subscribe button. And if you want to send me a tip or get some merchandise, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. When you have multiple resistances above a potential entry price, and you just pick the high resistance and hold through to get through towards risk, or do you have rules for resistance you choose for the price target? That's a very complicated question. It's honestly something that depends on the situation. I could do examples of it, but I think, it's more of like a one-on-one class type question rather than like a stream question. So, I can answer that, but it would just take a while, and it's like a process. It depends on how the chart looks, on what variables you're being shown. It's not really like a direct answer I can give you. So sorry, but the one-on-one classes will be back up probably in the next couple of weeks. Okay. Let's start adding in more tickers. Type. That's a SPAC, I think. You said conceal CCX? Do you just mean CCX? I'm not too sure. The timestamps aren't out yet. They'll be out when the stream finishes, and I'll put it in the Discord and Twitter. Well, I'll announce in the Discord and Twitter when they're up.
It's right here. It's how you feel. It's a style. So it can go out.
Skip that song. One-on-one classes, what's it called? I was doing one-on-one classes, but I just got really busy with college. So once my college gets less busy, I'm gonna open them back up. I just really don't have time for one-on-one classes right now. I'm like busy pretty much every single hour of the day until like an hour before I go to bed. teaching options soon. It's just, you know, I've really understood the whole entire realm of options by now. It's just like, you know, obviously me teaching it brings a lot more risk because they are just much more riskier than regular swing trades. And a lot of the people in the Discord and, you know, even on the stream are very new traders. So I just have to go about it the right way. I'm still, you know, I'm planning on it. I don't really need to teach about options, but I could definitely share some options I'm in sometimes, which I'll probably start doing in a little bit. But honestly, the answer is like when I feel like it. I'm just, right now, like I do my options, I do them personally, and they've been working out. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. I'm just taking it as it goes, if that makes sense. But yes, keep it going. Appreciate the support, D. I think that gets all of them. Was EHang? Yeah. Back is hurting a bit. Let me sit up straight. I have a terrible posture. You could probably tell. I'm like sitting like this the whole stream. But if I sit back here, I feel like you could hear me well like this. Put my mic a little bit. Do you need an account on Streamlabs to donate or buy? No, you do not. You just you hit the link, you type in your name, your message, the tip amount, and then you just hit tip, and then you can select PayPal if you have a PayPal account, or if you want to tip by credit card, like just literally if you want to tip by credit card, then yes, I think you need to just make a Streamlabs account, which takes like 2 minutes. All right, so I could just sit back then. Great. But yeah, if you are tipping with just direct through credit card, you need to make an account real quick, just so, I don't know, just that's how their system works, Streamlabs. But if you want to just use PayPal, then you don't need to make a Streamlabs account. Yeah, I'm 18. Let's keep going. This kind of looks like CBAT, DPW. But again, you're a little bit away from your support, which is like $3.40 is your major support here. Of course, it can pivot. It just dropped from $8 to $4. It just went down 50%. So it could pivot at any point. But like the edge is at like 337. Ow. I feel like there might be hidden divergence on the 4-hour. Well, there's potential maybe. Is potential? No, there's not. Never mind. I'm wrong. This one, it's really hard to give you an answer. I'd probably just use Fibonacci in this scenario. Just use all the fibs. Those are potential bounce zones. You're in the golden retrace area right now. I'm not too sure. No divergence, no pattern. Cash App? Yeah, it's just Cash App brings like security issues for me. You know, if I do it through the Streamlabs, it's just your information is safe, my information is safe. It's just a payment processor. It'll also show up on the stream, because if I do Cash App, then whenever somebody tips or something, the notification won't pop up on the stream. So it just works out best for everything, even though it might take you like a minute or two to make an account. Open is currently at a demand line, closed right above one. It's showing some hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. It's developing, but it needs more work. So make or break area. But I think earnings might be soon. Earnings on the 4th, so that is this week, I think. Which fib do you put in? The fibs will pretty much just, whenever you use the Fibonacci tool on TradingView, they'll just be there. The only one I did put in manually is the 886 retrace, and in complete honesty, that's just because Mitch Ray uses it, so I use it as well. I'm just being straightforward. I just learned that from him. It works out pretty nicely. It's not very popular, but just another level I use. But everything else just comes manually on TradingView. CCX. You're showing some classic bullish divergence. It still needs to confirm. You have classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. But honestly, this is a SPAC, and that really doesn't matter. If I'm being honest, it just comes down to what the company merger will be. Well, I believe this is a SPAC. It's Churchill Capital 2. So I think it's like, I think Michael Klein's behind all the Churchill Capitals or whatever. That's his name. Yeah, it is Michael Klein, right? Yeah. CCX 50-50. It's just, I don't really know if I can give you an answer right here. You're in the middle of a support and a resistance. Arc Q, also no pattern, no divergence, can't really give you an answer. Same thing right here, can't really give you an answer. No pattern, no divergence. No support really. This was up 37%. That's also 50-50. Again, I know I'm skipping a lot of these charts, but I really don't like analyzing something that I can't give you a good answer on. And for a lot of these charts, it's just not how I trade. I just need consistency. I like getting in before the hype when something's accumulating and then waiting for the pop. But after the pop happens, it's a little bit hard for me to really analyze it. And what is this? EH. You're showing some local divergence, kind of. Kind of just looks like a descending triangle almost. I want to see anchor like that. That. Let me go on the 1 hour. Maybe that looks the best. Yeah, it's just like your support's like $43 is your support, and then your resistance is just like this down sloping line, kind of like a descending triangle, but it's a little bit weird. Not too sure here. I think as long as they're above 40, you're fine though, but that still gives you like a, what, like 15% risk, 10% risk, more. I don't know. Westwater Resources on the 4 hour. It's at the support. Your support is 551. I mean, it's not at the support. It's actually $0.50 above it. Never mind. But it bounced off the support. No divergence though. You could get divergence eventually on the daily, like hidden divergence, but it's just too early to call. I think as long as you're above 551 on WWR, you're good. But again, there is downside, like $0.50. But that's your support, 551. Neo. Let me just delete all these lines down here because you're not even close to there yet. Leave that. You're in the middle of support and resistance. Your support's like 42, 42. Your resistance is like 47. You're right in the middle. Not too easy to give you an answer right there. FLT. Nice accumulation. Kind of looks like an ascending triangle. Yeah, this kind of just looks like an ascending triangle to me. You have like this increasing level of demand with the sell wall at like 283. If you break 283, your next resistance is 304, and then after 304, probably just like an all-time high of 329. So I mean, it could easily come back to the demand line and then go back up, and you know, but like this is bullish, but for the long term. It could break out at some point. It even tried breaking out, but I guess the market must have pulled it back, or maybe earnings. But that was a while ago. When was earnings? Oh yeah, that was some time ago. Any divergence? No. Mara? Is that Marathon? Mara, whatever. I mean, if Bitcoin really pivots and Bitcoin just pulled back 1%, I mean, the correlation is there, right? This is pretty interesting, yeah. A lot of hidden divergence developing. Just fell from 48 to 30. No divergence on the daily though. I mean, yeah, you could manage your risk right here. It's tradable. It's not the highest probability trade ever because you only really have support and divergence, and only divergence on one time frame. But it's definitely tradable. I mean, you just go for like a gap fill or something. Is there any gap fills on the daily? Yeah, there's a gap fill at 42.18. Just go for like 42 bucks, and then you could just throw your stop loss under support or under this candle low right here. Get a 3 reward to risk. You're risking 13% to try and make 46%. It's tradable, but you know, not the highest probability. Blink. It's falling under support. I think the market just pulled it with it. I mean, maybe if the market has a good day today, a lot of things that broke support might just jump right back over. But I mean, there was a nice bullish pin bar right over here. It went up a little bit, now it's pulling back. Unless you get back over 40, I think it's bearish. There's just not a lot of support. So I think you need to get back over 40 or take caution. E-bond, at this point, if there was a trade on this chart, I think it already played out. I mean, it was showing accumulation over here, nice demand, higher low, broke the supply line, and then as soon as it broke it, it just went crazy, and now it just pulled all the way back down. So at this point, it's like 50-50. Yes, it did just pull back a lot. It could have a common retrace, very common. That's why it's a common retrace, but it's just not the same probability without divergence and a pattern and stuff like that. FRSX. Your support is 648. That was your candle high on December 23rd, and that was your candle low on Friday. As long as you're over 648, you're good, but if you fall under 648 with confirmation, take caution. Walmart, I believe they missed on earnings, or people just didn't like their report. Wow. See, the technicals on Walmart looked great when we were looking at it, and I really think this would have broken out and probably seen like $150 if they didn't have a terrible reaction to earnings. But that's why I said earnings always matter more, and it had a gap down on earnings day, and it's just been dumping ever since. I don't like how it broke under the 133 support. I mean, your next support on Walmart is 127. That's your next level of support. It was your high right over here. It was your low right over there. And you even broke this demand. It's super hard. You have to really dump to break a down sloping demand line like this. So just terrible price action after earnings. And your next support's 128, which you're not too far away from. But of course, it can make a common retrace if the market does. But just no pattern yet. No divergence yet. Boeing has gaps the upside. Yeah, just trade out on Boeing right now. It was up 10% at one point, but it pulled back. Is that good? About an hour long. I feel like that covered a lot. Sure, we can take a look at QS. This will be the last one for the night. Right here. Again, for the people who are new to the stream, US was a huge trade that I put out. It was a 46% profit trade about 2 weeks ago. The technicals looked great. I put out an entry with the target of $70. A week after I put out this trade, Adam Jonas from Morgan Stanley, I believe, also put out a price target of $70. He was also the person who gave Fisker the crazy high price target on Friday. So shout out to Adam Jonas. He definitely helped out on the Fisker trade and the QS trade. But yeah, this trade was awesome. 46% profit in like 2 weeks. I know a lot of people here were in on this trade. Yes, I am on TradingView. But at this point, the trade already played out. It's a 50-50. Your resistance is $70. Your major support is 47, and you're right in the middle. Yeah, Adam Jonas has to be watching. Like literally a week after I posted a trade on QS, he gives the same exact target. Come on, Adam. If you're watching the stream, it's completely cool. Maybe talk to Morgan Stanley, try and get me a job there. But yeah, it's just a crazy coincidence, I guess. And yeah, I think that was a good stream. We covered all the trades, we covered the market, we covered Bitcoin, we covered Fisker, Clover, CCIV, probably like 40 tickers for all of you in the chat. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you ever want to send me a tip, even if I'm not live or if I am live, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. Future is pulling back a little bit, but they're still up quite a bit. Just watch them overnight. Good luck trading this week. Remember, the last 2 weeks, more than anything, should have just been a lesson for most of us. And yeah, manage your risk. Trade safely this week. Best of luck. Let's crush it this week, no matter what the variables are. And patient, be consistent, be smart. Have a great night. Thank you for coming out. Peace out. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. EST. What song should I play? I've been listening to this song a decent amount, so I'm just going to play it. Alright. Have a good one, everybody.
Another weekend, a new story. I found a diamond in the darkest mine. We started speaking, a smooth talking, a tiptoe over the borderline. She left her lipstick on my cheek. I turned around, she vanished in a blink. She haunted me and I can barely sleep. I'm looking for, wait, that's her, stop that girl. Hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart and then took off on me. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart, she had enough of me. Everywhere I go, I put out wanted signs. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. I guess I'll never know. I've got a fever, a cold sweating. It's hard to make it through the day today. Empty-handed, right where you left me. A cig is filling up the ashtray. Still got her lipstick on my cheek. I turned around, she vanished in a blink. She haunted me and I can barely sleep. I'm looking for, wait, that's her, stop that girl. Hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart and then took off on me. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart, she had enough of me. Everywhere I go, I put out wanted signs. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. I guess I'll never, yeah, I'll never know. She left her lipstick on my cheek. She vanished in a blink, and I can barely sleep. Yeah, so got her lipstick on my cheek. I turned around, she vanished in a blink. She haunted me and I can barely sleep.